Coming to you live from the rinks in Oppog, you're listening to the Suffolk County High School Hockey League here on LI Sports Network. Ryan Brannigan alongside Roan Laddick, who's come a long way from all the way in Pennsylvania earlier today over to good old Oppog in Suffolk County to provide the camera and technical support for this game. Ryan Brannigan will have come from about 10 minutes away, so, not very impressive, but here nonetheless. And this should be a very exciting game here between two of the heavyweights of the freshman division. 2-0-1 St. A's and East Islip. East Islip, to start the year, collected a thrilling back-and-forth 8-6 victory against Middle Country to open their season. Flattened Sachem 8-0, and followed that up with another flattening, this time of West Islip 10-0. So East Islip in their last two victories outscoring their opponents by a combined 18-0. As the shutout streak as a team goes beyond 2 games. Meanwhile, for St. A's, perennial powerhouse, got their season started off with an 8-4 victory against Southampton. Then a 3-3 tie to ESM. That a great game indeed. And their most recent game, a 10-4 victory against the Middle Country Cougars. So you can look to that. We try to see, measure up, face the same opponent, especially this early in the year. Try to determine, how good is this team versus this other team? And of course, the lineups always shift from game to game. It's hard to tell by that. Speaking of lineups, let's get a look at to their 2-0-1 start. And it's led by defenseman in terms of the points category, Aiden Kalmar. 3 games played, 5 goals, 2 assists, 7 points for Kalmar. Logan McCauley, also 2 goals, 2 assists for 4 points. Someone to keep an eye on, as well as Trevor Galloway. On the other side of the ice for East Islip, Christian Fowler has been infallible to start this season with 7 goals, 2 assists, 9 points in 3 games played. He's been phenomenal. As we're set to drop the puck here, Evan Connors as well, not to be outdone with 6 goals, 2 assists for 8 points. Again, it's been a dominant start to the year for EI. As they have early possession. Centering pass doesn't go. Starting goaltenders tonight, Brody Morbillo in between the pipes, and then an aggressive play by goaltender for East Islip. That's number 30, Anthony Ford. So Ford versus Morbillo tonight. As St. A's look to slow things down. The final of 3 matchups here. It's a shortened bench for St. A's. They nearly run into trouble there. They still do have Aiden Kalmar, as I mentioned, one of their top scorers. No Galloway tonight. Missing much of those players I mentioned. No McCauley, no Galloway, no Ivizaj, Landon Ivizaj, who played for ESM last year. Goal and 2 assists. Missing much of the core of that lineup for St. A's here tonight. And against EI and how they've looked this year, you're going to probably need your best group. But it's still early in the year, of course. Friars ice the puck. It'll come back down deep in their own end with little over a minute gone by in this first period. Connors has it knocked from his stick and carrying out the other way for the Friars. That time was Solis, down low Borison. Puck rolls around to the near side where EI can assume control, and big hit delivered. Still, it's Walsh. Carried now the other way. Solis has it knocked from his stick. Connors trying to drag it. Brought along by Tizzano. Shot goes wide of netminder Ford. Another shot. That one's blocked by Walsh. Connors there as well. Friars regain control. Back to Kalmar. Kalmar shot. Left pad save made by Ford. Good possession here for the Friars. Back to Kalmar again. Lets another shot go. Off the mask of Ford and cleared out of harm's way. And Connors. Tons of open space. Kalmar getting back. Connors hits the brakes. Lets Kalmar go by him. And now a swarm of Friars converge on Connors, but still he gets it to Fowler. Fowler a shot, a right pad save made by Morbillo. Sends one across. Shot there from Barbarito. Turned aside by Morbillo. Straub. Circling with it, Straub. Sharp angle try, stop by Morbillo. Rebound save, Morbillo. And the Friars gain possession and can clear. Fired in by Tizzano. Ford out to slow it down. Into the opposite corner, Todd Roush, former KPC Knight. See, that's a common pipeline. Play for the Knights, and you might take your talents not too far away. St. A's. Stumbling down to the ice was Nooner. Delayed penalty, and East Islip will get a power play out of this. First of the game in this scoreless tie. As a little Led Zeppelin plays throughout the arena. A little Kashmir action. Straub looks like he'll take the draw. Barbarito lined up on the wing. 5 Friars are out. Now they'll get 4 for the proper shorthanded number of players here, which would be that 4. Chance here for Borison. If he gets there, he does. Borison shot, a save made by Ford. So a shorthanded opportunity. Ford gonna play it. Goes right off of Marizito. Sorry, Lazarino. There. Connor steps, fires, deflected up and out of play. 10:38 remaining here in this first period. $1:21 left on the power play for East Islip. Lazarino fakes, walks, shot, save, Morbillo, rebound. Walsh converged. It's the Friars who clear out. Banked ahead, chasing after it, Roush. On ahead for Straub. 3-on-2 over the blue. Joined by Barbarito and Walsh. Connors. A little give and go with Straub. Now Walsh. And Kalmar gets over to make a good defensive play. Rebound available out in front. They score. Back door. It's Straub. 1-0 East Islip. They strike on the power play. Here it is again. Watch Walsh. Well, there's the Barbarito shot. And Walsh going to find it and just spin it out in front. And that allows for the goal. So 1-0 EI. Straub from Connors and Barbarito. Chiefs play it behind, try to outlet. Stick of Kalmar gets in the way. Kalmar up with it. Leaves it for his teammate Lucas Hoffman. Was around by the stick of Doherty to the blue line, where it's held in for the moment by Nooner, who sends it across. Here's Aiden Kalmar. Nearly turned it over to Barbarito. Comes out the other way with speed. Kalmar. Shots denied by Ford. Rebound skitters to the near side. To the blue line. Roush. Kalmar. Back across for a shot from Solis that goes wide. Solis will play it down the wall. Thrown out in front. Kalmar holding in. Fires a shot wide. Backhanded out in front and across. A save Ford. Rebound Ford. Still loose. They score. The Friars tie the game on a hectic sequence in front. And Ford ran out of saves to make. Again, a number of chances here. Ford makes one stop, makes two. Still loose. It's going to kick on to the back end side of things, and that's where it's finished ultimately. A 1-1 game. About 8:20 left. Tizzano credited with the goal from Roush and Kalmar. So another point for Aiden Kalmar. For Roush, he now has his third point of the year as well. And Tizzano has his second of the season. Rory Straub, who scored the first goal, that's his third, his fifth point. As that shot goes wide, taken by Nooner, fired on across. And Friars, despite just a three-player bench, competing hard, especially early goings, lost his stick there. That was the stick of Sam Mayer. Friars regroup. Has ahead Menino. Has it taken away by Connors. Connors moves in. Sharp angle shot, save, rebound. Steered away by Orbillo. Oh, good shot. Good play made by Connors. Doherty holds in, sends it down for Connors. Evan Connors. Back to the blue line for Aiden Mather's shot. And that's stopped by the right shoulder of Morbillo. Connors takes going to be a penalty. Interference, I assume, will be the call. EI back to the power play where they're already 1 for 1 tonight. It is Menino going off for St. A's. So power play EI and a quick stoppage. .6:29 left here in the first. And as soon as the power play begins, we'll go to 4-on-4 with Evan Connors making his way over to the box. So the faceoff comes all the way back down into the EI end. And their power play tonight will technically be now 1 for 2. Shot from Kalmar through traffic, high and wide. Never saw it with goaltender Ford. Here's Walsh. Little tap pass for Straub. Good step up. And the Friars take in Nooner. Shot. Stop by Ford with the glove. Minute 31 left here. 4-on-4 hockey. As we're just through 9 minutes of this first period. 1 goal apiece up on the board. Face-off back down to the left of Ford. One in the defensive end by EI. Here's Mathers wheeling around with it. The leading goal scorer, or point scorer of the developmental East Islip team a year ago. Up on the freshman team this year. Aiden Mathers, but here is Fowler. He'll go across to Mathers. Mathers up the far side. Challenged by Solis, and a stoppage. Been a lot of those to start this game thus far. Very stop and go first period. Four on four for another 47 seconds. EI touch up, Straub. Forechecking Kalmar. Kalmar around Straub. Now Mazzarone. Also Kalmar by him. Aiden Kalmar. Hits the circle, sends it back. Around the goal scorer, it's Tizzano. It's cut off. Sent back up that way. A shot toward Ford. Blockered away. Now a board battle along the near side. 15 more seconds of 4-on-4 hockey. Straub left it behind him. Loose puck available. Mazzarone picks it up. Can't clear. And now we'll just tap it off the glass and down. Deflected, no icing. Kalmar will get to it. Power play for Friars begins and promptly ends. Good lead pass. Connects with Tizzano. Tizzano trying to get around Mayer, Sam Mayer. Here's Tizzano again. Chips it in deep. Played around by Menino. Taken away Barbarito. He'll try the near side of clear. Wasn't working, so now the far side where Connors can skate it free. Trying to lead pass for Walsh. And a good stick from Nooner breaks it up. Delayed penalty now against EI. Will put the Friars back on the power play as soon as Barbarito touches it here. No, just kidding. Totally missed. I mean, in all fairness, Brody Morbillo was hustling to the bench there. And I saw the referee's arm up. Thought there was going to be a delayed call. Both Brody and I were fooled there as EI jumped back on the puck. Lazzarino. Ahead, it's Fowler. Pushed right back in to the EI zone. Walsh thwarted at the line. Lazzarino has it go by him. Nooner will punch it across. Just jousting for puck control. Menino will try his hand in it. Sends it in deep. Nooner, huge hit. Down low, EI though come away with the puck. Fowler, 2-on-2 over the blue. He's got Connors, hits him. Connors to the backhand. Connors denied by Morbillo. So I mentioned that some of the top scoring players in the freshman division are here tonight. Second in the league in scoring with 9 points is Fowler. Third with 8 is Connors. Aiden Kalmar second among defensemen in points. Big chance here for EI. Nothing gets through. Tizzano moves on in, being watched by Mayer. And now it's carried out by EI. That's Straub. Tries to center Mazzarone. Straub will flick it into the corner. A bit of a miscommunication there with Mazzarone, who was parked in front. But now Straub takes it away. Out in front, Mazzarone blocked. Getting in the way of it was Kalmar. Now here's Tizzano. 2-on-1 developing. Tizzano goes across the shot. Oh, missed the net wide. Big chance for Hoffman, and he just put it wide. Mazzarone carrying out. He's got Potato with him. Loads up, fires wide. To the right of Morbillo, who is positioned to my right. Forward my left. Ahead with it is Menino. He'll wrap it around, hoping for Tizzano. Gets by him, on for the stick of Solis. Solis trying to go back to him, and we get a stoppage. And I believe a penalty. With 63 seconds remaining here in this first period, or in layman's terms, 1:03. It's Menino who goes to the box. It's East Islip who returned to the power play. Their last one lasted all but 3 seconds before they took a penalty themselves, which ended it. Their other power play, which wasn't immediately ended by a penalty, was fruitful and provided their only goal of the game. Walsh off the face-off win by Straub. Barbarito trying to go down the wall, coughed it up, and unable to hold in was neither Barbarito or Walsh. Lazzarino banks one ahead for Connors. Connors eventually possesses the puck. Walks. Good pass. Straub unable to either return it to Straub or return it to Connors or get a backhand shot. Way out of his net is Ford. He'll fire it ahead. Connors bats it on the backhand to no one in particular. And it's sent back the other way for the moment by St. A's. Straub, great lead pass. Connors is in. Connors a drive and a save, Morbillo. And Morbillo content to just hold on. Let's throw 2 more seconds on the power play up. 1:12 left. 15.2 left here in the first. 1-1, EI and Lazzarino. Time winding down first period. Gave it away. Chance now shorthanded. Todd Roush. Does he have the speed? He's caught from behind, and no shot could have come. Walsh getting back on the back check to prevent the short-handed chance, and that is how we end the first period. There's 57 seconds left on that power play, of which I will adjust for now. That will carry over into the second. And with that, let's transition to the second period. You're listening to the Suffolk County High School Hockey League on LI Sports Network. 1-1 after 1 between St. A's and EI. Second period on its way after this. Players break from their respective benches. We are back here at the rinks for the second period. St. A's and EI tied at 1 apiece. Listening to the LI Sports Network's coverage of the Suffolk County High School Hockey League, Ryan Brannigan, Rowan Laddick. EI 3-0 and only had real one game that was close, an 8-6 victory against Middle Country. The Friars 2-0-1, a tie against ESM. That shot save, rebound! Couldn't be gathered. Lazzarino took the initial shot. Walsh had the rebound chance, at least was in the area, and Morbillo making the stop. That dump in gets by Ford. Try to be thrown back on goal. Again, still shorthanded for another 20 seconds or so here from the Friars. That was number 73, Antonio Borison. Meanwhile, here's Straub. Shot gloved by Morbillo. Again, 12 seconds left on the power play for East Islip. They're 1 for 2. This their second real chance on the power play. Fowler to take the draw. Mazzarone behind him. Mathers on the wing. In comes Sam Mayer. Face-off won by EI. Fowler to Mayer. Mayer holds. Shot with a screen out in front. The deflection from Mazzarone doesn't get through. Fowler back to 5-on-5. Fowler wheels, fires. Fought off by Morbillo. Fowler again at the near circle. Back to Mayer, down the wall. Mayer pinching in once more, able to hold the zone. Dragging Mazzarone, shooting Mazzarone wide. Fowler chips it by the incoming Fryer and possesses. Out for Mazzarone, who ripped it wide. What a play. And down the other way it goes. Hustling after it, Roush. However, Mayer prevailing with the puck. Trying to chip it out, he could not. Now a long shot from Nooner goes wide. And EI scoop it up. Mazzarone sends in. Kalmar in the corner for the Friars. And going down hard. That was Miles Mazzarone. He's back up. And now a stoppage. Very physical game thus far. That last collision involving Barbarito and Hoffman. Along the near wall there. Walsh, Doherty, Connors the line. Connors will send it into the near corner. Spun around to the other side by Solis. Stepping up on it, and a nice play made by EI's defenseman, number 67. Here's Walsh. Shot hit a stick. A good stick there of Borison. To the blue line, Barbarito loads up, fires, fought off by Morbillo with the right pad. Connors tries to take away in the corner, and Walsh just out of his reach. Kalmar able to play it to the near side. Here's Barbarito. Challenging Solis. Puck sent in, Menino. Walks, fires, forward to the glove save. And now some jousting after the whistle, some words exchanged. 11:44 left here, second period, 1-1, Friars in East Islip. Face off to the left of netminder Ford for the Chiefs of East Islip. It's one in the O-zone by the Friars. Solis tapped along behind to Nooner. Nooner down the wall. Roush given up to Mathers. And Aiden Mathers will skate it into the neutral zone. Nice play. Roush takes it away. In comes Todd Roush. Roush shielded away from the puck. And a nice defensive play made by East Islip. Lazzarino. Banks it ahead, hoping for Straub. Too far for him. Sent back up the near wall by Nooner. Lazzarino sprawling to try to keep it alive in the O-zone for EI. Solis will spin it to the near side once more. Held in again by Lazzarino. They'll try to get it back to Lazzarino. Will Straub? It does. 89 Lazzarino, a shot. Blocker save made. Morbillo. Straub and Nooner. Straub comes away with the puck. Sends around. Held in at the line, and the puck ends up in the EI bench. 10:31 left here in the middle period, and one apiece, EI and St. A's. Going to take this time to remind you all, if you haven't already, to follow us on social media at LI Sports Network. It's one of the best things you could do if you're already tuned in and listening, to get more coverage, more content involving all your favorite SCHSHL players, teams, and more at LI Sports Network. Fowler over the line, gets around the stick, takes the shot wide. That's Mayer, a rip from the other corner, or other side of the blue line, and a save made again, Morbillo. They're not the most dangerous of chances, but he's doing a great job of not only stopping them, but limiting the rebounds and really controlling where the puck's going as the Friars have iced the puck. 9:46 left here in the second. And again, also catch up on everything going on in the SCHSHL at all levels by taking a peek at that little bottom ticker, where we've got all the updated stats, at least from a day or two ago, of the leaders in all your major categories across the divisions. Puck battle comes out to Connors, flung across and missed the stick of Mathers. Connors intercepts at the far circle, lets one go, and gloved by Morbillo. And Brody Morbillo, the former ESM netminder, formed a tandem with ESM netminder Austin Pagano. Official making sure the door is shut. Kalmar flips ahead. Menino hits in stride. Tizano. Tizano, nice move. Back across and unable to be finished by Menino, who gets it back though to Tizano. Tizano blocked the pass, comes right to Menino. A save made by Ford, hugging the post. Back the other way, EI. Connors has it taken away by Kalmar, but Connors takes it right back, puts it out in front, they score! Aiden Mathers! And EI lead it 2-1. And watch the individual effort here by Evan Connors as he takes it away from Kalmar, brings it around, and perfectly puts it on the stick of Mathers, who still does have to bury that puck, and he does. 2-1 EI, 8:46 left here in the second period. The Chiefs restore their once had 1-goal lead. And as for the goal scorer, Aiden Mathers, his first of the year. So back to action, 2-1. The unbeaten Chiefs lead. Here's Fowler. Left it behind him. Lazzarino. And again, yet another point produced by Evan Connors. He's up to 9 on the season with that assist. Fowler. A good pass to Mazzarone. Found its way to Lazzarino. His D-to-D pass intercepted by Menino. He'll joust with Fowler. Chipping in Lazzarino. Gets around Solis. Lazzarino. Fowler, good cycle here for EI. That shot, save Morbillo, rebound, save Morbillo. Take another look at those couple of saves made by Brody Morbillo. Again, good puck drops in his feet. Quick to get into the butterfly to make that second save. And a good positioning, cutting down that angle as well by Morbillo. EI briefly control off the draw. They give it away. And St. A's can work their way out. Menino backhands in. Lazzarino with 2 forechecking Friars. Coughs it up to Borison. Borison in the corner, helped out by Nooner now. Nooner trying to go back to Borison, all the way around. Menino and Mayer gets there first. Good lead pass to break out of the zone to Fowler. Fowler trying to go cross-ice. Straub banks ahead to him. Straub in the zone onside, takes a shot, and it's off the glove of Morbillo. Speed now the other way for Kalmar. Try to split the D. It's on goal to Ford, who steered it away right to Menino, who takes the shot and missed it wide. Held in at the near blue by Borison. Gave it up to Fowler, and Christian Fowler will skate to center. Fowler sauced across to Mazzarone, who will chip it down the wall and chase after. Nooner, soft touch pass on for Kalmar, who gave it away. Shot denied. Good chance there for Doherty. Now back up at the near point. Shot deflected on, and a save made by Morbillo. And now a delayed penalty. Who's it on? I believe it's on the Friars. And so with 6:17 left and a 2-1 lead, it'll be not the Friars, but Walsh to the box. And there's a bit of confusion. I think even the Friars thought the penalty was on them as they lined up in their own defensive zone. So they'll flip over to the other side of the ice into the EI zone. So they'll get their first real power play chance here. Again, they had a 3-second power play. Not sure what you can expect from that. Spoiler alert, they didn't score on it. Face-off won and controlled by St. Anthony. It's Kalmar. Watched by Connors, sends it down the near wall. Connors quick to get there. Great hustle. Will backhand it out of the zone. Kalmar unable to hold in. Nooner. Tizano. 5:55 left here. Second period. Only goal of the period belonging to East Islip. They lead it 2-1. Nooner. Taken away by Connors. Sent around by the stick of Menino. And here comes Straub. And Straub, with a Tizano streaking back down on him, decides to just dump it in. And that was the smart play. And that'll force Tizano and company to go the full length of the ice, which Tizano will try to do here. as he breaks in with speed on the outside. Takes the shot along the ice. Stopped by the right pad of Ford, and down it goes. Minute gone by on the power play. Morbillo tried to send it out himself. It's intercepted by Connors, who has the puck left behind him. Nooner. Sent into the zone, but right onto the stick of Straub. Roush, who watches Straub bank it to the glass, not out. Good keep by Nooner. Nooner sauced it down low. Sharp angle try, Menino. Denied by the side of the net. And that shot goes wide off the stick of Kalmar. Menino up into the air, jumping down to glove it down was Roush, and then he got bumped into, or vice versa. It was unclear. 15 seconds remain on the Walsh minor for tripping, and we get another penalty added to the equation. And a hand pass is actually what the official ruled, so no new penalty added to the equation. The equation remains the same. I spoke too soon. Delayed penalty, and it's going to be on EI, just as their other penalty to Walsh expires. Friars will go back to the power play as Solis turns it over down low, allowing the Chiefs to touch up. So 2 minutes right back on the board for St. A's as East Islip playing with a bit of fire here. Reinforcements on the way for St. Anthony as well, as making his way onto the ice, number 90. That's Reggie Henry. Face-off one in the O-zone by St. A's. Tizano, here's Henry. From the locker room to the ice. No bench for Henry. Nooner with Mathers all over him. Mathers takes it away and spins it down the ice. Morbillo out to greet the puck in the opposite corner. Walsh is there. Walsh forced the turnover. Lazzarino. Morbillo got back and made the save. Oh, a flare for the dramatic for Brody Morbillo as he turns it over and makes up for his error. And is greeted by the cheers of, there it is. Uh-oh, look at the hustle. Oh, he ran into his own player too. It didn't matter. How about it? It avoids me saying the tagline. You know, something if you're a goaltender. He did get back to tend that goal. Meanwhile, it's Henry. Good little pass across, shot wide. Game off the stick of the Friars. Borison, and down it goes. Good clear again for EI. They look to remain perfect on the PK tonight. 2 for 2. And Morbillo puts his glove up for the forechecking Straub there. Meanwhile, here is Nooner. Save, Ford. Rebound up in the air. Swing and a miss for Henry. Straub fighting off back check from Nooner. And eventually it is Nooner. Hits the blue line. Backhand pass read beautifully by Mazzarone and therefore intercepted and cleared. Tizano behind the back pass eventually found its way onto the stick of Nooner. Flipped ahead for Tizano, and he has trouble entering the zone. Good step up by Mazzarone. Quick passing here for the Friars, but again it's Mazzarone on that blue line, thwarting the entries. And then a collision between, that's the Friars, Tizano, and East Islip saying catch it. Blue line shot from Nooner, tipped wide, and then off the stick Or off the stick, then wide. It was going wide regardless. Straub, power play has expired. 3 for 3 on the kill tonight. REI. And there's a minute 30 left here in the second period. Again, the lone goal scored by Aiden Mathers, assisted by Evan Connors, giving EI the 2-1 lead. It's a heavyweight bout matchup. 3-0 EI, 2-0-1 St. A's. Mayer gave it away. Pushed out in front and nudged ever so slightly by Brentwitz. Meanwhile, here's Walsh, 2-on-1. Walsh a drive, and it catches the shoulder of Morbillo. Connors spun around, held in by Mayer. The shot, though, blocked by Nooner. Here comes St. A's, Borison. Down it goes, Brentwitz. Hoffman on the forecheck toward the goal. Connors unable to get around Kalmar, and now the puck exits the zone. Kalmar retreats. 40 to play. Connors and Kalmar. The battle continues. Doherty rims it around. Walsh first on it. In the opposite side of the ice. Now brings it around to the near side. Greeted promptly by Nooner. Walsh across. Found its way to Mathers. A save, Morbillo. Kalmar had Nooner. It's onside. The shot, a glove save made by Ford. And now with 3 seconds left in the period, East Islip can clear and secure a 2-1 edge heading into the final period of regulation time. Well, it's been quite the entertaining game thus far, hasn't it? In that second period. Unlike the first, which provided us with 2 goals, had just the 1. 2 assists, by the way, on the day for Evan Connors. So he improves his point total on the year to 10. So there you have it, 2-1 at the end of 2. Ryan Browning and Rowan Laddick will be back for the third period, which is on its way. St. A's EI. It's going to come down to the last 15. Who's going to take it? Find out after this. So there's EI breaking from their bench. Welcome back to the rinks in Oppog. You're listening to the Suffolk County High School Hockey League here on LI Sports Network. Ryan Browning and Rowan Laddick on the cam. 15 minutes up on the board remaining here. Third period in what's been an exciting defensive, close checking, 2-1 game. Turnover, Morbillo, and he made the save, and we've seen that before. Turnover again, Mazzarone, that shot blocked. Menino getting in the way of it. And what I meant there, and what I was alluding to, is Morbillo making a mistake, but making up for it. That shot denied by an aggressive Morbillo, who's out of his crease in order to keep that puck out of the net. Great net for presence provided by Mazzarone. Lazzarino along the far wall will bank in and hustle hard after it. Kalmar gets there first. We'll just nudge it around to his defensive partner. That's Solis, at least for now it is. And a good move by Kalmar. In comes Aiden Kalmar over the red line. Kalmar checked from behind by Fowler. Trying to get around Mayer. Kalmar in the near corner. Kalmar wraps it around. Played up to the wall by Roush. Held in by Solis. Straub fighting off a check. Check provided there by Roush. To the line, not out, held in by Solis, but only for so long as Fowler comes out with it. Christian Fowler over the blue line, stick handling, centers, and steered out of harm's way by the Friars. In doing so, Solis. Away comes Henry. Reggie Henry into the zone. Henry the drive, a save made by Ford. Fowler hits the red line and wraps it around the wall on the dump in. Solis first on it for the Friars. Watched by Walsh. Batted down the wall by EI and Walsh on the other side. Now a shot from Cotters off the wall is steered away into the opposite corner by Morbillo. Brentwitz, wrist shot, deflected wide, nearly kicked back around to Connors on the near side. It's Brentwitz and Mathers, the defensive pair. We've seen Mathers play all up and down the lineup here tonight. Taken away by Walsh, but he could not get around Tizzano. Tizzano on his horse, checked from behind. A nice little play made by Doherty. And that's out of the zone. Connors, greeted by the shoulder check of Tizzano, got through to Walsh, and it's held out by Morbillo. One more time, watch Walsh disappear behind the Friar defense. Just able to get that, not much on that shot. Reaching out with the backhand, and Morbillo seals the door. With 12:22 left here in the third, shot never got through to Morbillo off the face-off win by EI. Connors takes it back. Connors with Walsh set up in front, missed the net wide. Good little stick lift by Solis, allows him to send it around, but it's only as far as Doherty. Puck though comes out. Here come the Friars. Spearheading the rush up the ice, Todd Roush. But it's taken off his stick, and now EI can break out. Send across. Walsh. Trying to take it behind the net. Takes it away for the moment. He gets thrown down to the ice. Delayed penalty against the Friars. And they touch up, and here it comes. And at least one Friar fan, am I right, with his hand frantically waved to the sky, doesn't agree with the call, but you know what? I think it's a good call. Solis to the box. The Friar coach also doesn't appear to like the call. The call, by the way, I believe interference is what my guess was, as it kind of happened away from the play. It's instead in the books as a rough, which I guess, so I could see why maybe now there's some lashback. Either way, power play EI, 1 for 3. Fowler the drive, a save made by Morbillo. And then Fowler turns it over, and that allows, well, it would have allowed a clear for the Friars, but it went off the roof. As that was flipping it into the roof, Todd Roush. It's not a low roof either here at the rink. It's a pretty high roof. So you really gotta send that thing skyward in order to hit it here, and that's what Roush did. Back in the Friars zone, it's EI who control. Lazzarino try to force one through. It deflected into the corner for Fowler. That pass eventually does come, and Morbillo the save as that pinballed around in front. Over the stick of Fowler and out of the zone. Lazzarino catches back with it with $1:15 to go on the power play for EI. Mazzarone stolen from behind. What a play. Nice little play made by the captain, Tizzano. Tizzano will now chase down Straub. Straub evading Tizzano. Spins away from him to the near side, and now right up the gut goes Straub into the zone. Rory Straub takes the shot low. Save made Morbillo. Mazzarone hustling into the corner. Chipped by him by Kalmar. And Kalmar will backhand it in. And here's a chance. Short-handed. Nooner's in. Nooner! Stopped by Ford! Another long shot, and that one's into the chest of goaltender Anthony Ford. And that freezes the penalty time at 38 seconds. Let's throw some more on there. Not that many. There we go. So a short-handed, great look for the Friars. And Nicholas Nooner, Ford up to the test. And there was not an easy play for Nooner either, as he was aggressively being back-checked on the play. Still got a good shot off and a great save made by Ford. And what's been a fabulous game, living up to the billing of these two top teams. Connors weaves, Connors across the crease. Maybe Morbillo got a piece. Into the near corner. Eventually gathering control is Borison. Walsh there, it's fired in and kept alive by the Chiefs. Round to the other side, Mathers pinching in. The power play has expired. 1 for 4 on the night. R.E. Islip. Skating up the ice with it is Nooner. We just saw him have that breakaway. He's going to try to squeeze one through. It's a host of VI sticks breaking it up, and now Connors 1v3. Drags around one, tipped it around another, but could not catch back up with it as Tizano fires it back the other way. East Islip, though, first on it, backhanded toward the front of the net for Walsh. Walsh tried to continue to move it to Botetto. He could not. And thus, here come the Friars. It's Solis, fresh off his 2-minute sit in the box, sending in. Ford out to play it. Gets it right onto the stick of Mathers. Mathers reversing. Tumbling down to the ice is that Connors. Friars have it, and out of the zone it goes. Helped along by Botetto. Kalmar. On to play it further here, Nooner. Nooner weaving. Nooner establishes the zone, takes a shot, and it's smothered by Anthony Ford. With 8:16 left here in the third period, East Islip holding on to a 1-goal lead. Face off to the left of Ford, one back by the Friars. Long shot from Kalmar, doesn't get through. Scooped up along the far wall. It's Lazzarino to himself around Solis. Lazzarino centers one for Fowler, and Kalmar's stick intervened. Again out in front, Doherty a shot, and that one caught the right pad of Morbillo, who was positioned nicely there in the butterfly. Pass tipped ahead onto the stick of Todd Roush. And now Menino's shot into the chest of Anthony Ford. 7:35 left. You're listening to the Suffolk County High School Hockey League here on LI Sports Network. Ryan Bradigan and Rowan Laddick. Check us out on socials at LI Sports Network. Face-off won by the Friars. Shot goes wide. Deflected off someone in front. Back out in front, and it's Lazzarino who intercepts and will skate it out himself. The right shot defenseman enters the blue line. Drop past Fowler. Has to reach out to get it. He does. Fowler brings it in. Now pass across. Straub shot. Never got through. A lot of traffic out in front of Morbillo. Menino off the glass. Picked up by Straub. Sends it in further. Solis. First clearing attempt thwarted. Second one onto the stick of Brentwitz. Shot blocked. Went right off of Aiden Kalmar. And away come the Friars. Tizano. Tizano working on Lazzarino. Lazzarino puts his body weight into him. To the line, not out. Here's Kalmar. Walks. Wrist shot. Scores! Just a quick wrister from Kalmar, beats Ford glove side, ties the game at 2. Oh, here it is again. You see Kalmar, just a harmless looking, does it deflect out in front? I didn't think so on first look. See who they end up giving it to. I think it should be Kalmar's goal, and I mentioned Kalmar off the top. Second among defensemen in scoring, 7 points on the year, 5 goals. Goal number 6, if it stands, for Aiden Kalmar. And that's who is credited with the goals, shots. No save made by Morbillo. Got to credit Morbillo. This could have been a 3-1 game easily. Meanwhile, Friars threatening, that shot deflects wide. Slot chance, inner slot chance for St. A's to try to get their first lead of the night. And wouldn't that be sweet for it to happen late here in the third? Centers one, Nooner unable to get a piece of it. Friars with momentum. Solis, that deflects just wide. You had Nooner parked in front. Chiefs trying to clear out the far side. Stumbling down was Hoffman. Here's Connors, one-on-one. Connors, nice move. Connors, save made. Right shoulder again to Morbillo. He continues to shine in black and gold. Brody Morbillo, it's Connors. Connors, good move. Finally, just all he could do, nudge it on goal. He was surrounded by a sea of black and gold. Mazzarone picks it up on the far side. Now it's EI's chance to start something. Save, rebound, goes just wide. Walsh just missed a deflection and then nearly had a great rebound chance as we're under 5 to go here in the third. All tied up at 2. Friars and Chiefs. Intercepted Evan Connors. Plays it down low for the chance and a Morbillo blocker save. My goodness. Have we been treated to a game here tonight? First of all, great intercept by Connors, and then the awareness to hit the open skater, and that was Mazzarone. And Mazzarone just takes 1/2 second too long to get rid of that shot, gives Morbillo time to get over there, and it's all he needs to come up with the save. There's another blocker save, Morbillo, as it's been a goaltending duel here tonight. Connors takes it away. Finds the open Mathers. Wrist shot blocked. Thrown to the front, rejected by Tizzano. Back to Mathers. Mathers down the wall. Walsh gets a shove in the back from Kalmar, who plays it down low. A legal shove. You know, there's legal. It was a legal play. Anyway, moving on. Here's Connors. Connors, surrounded, goes down. Shot from Walsh. Save made. Morbillo might have hit the side of the net. The press continues for EI as that one gets by the sticks of Doherty and Barbarito, and Barbarito just has to hustle back to make sure St. A's will get a chance going the other way. Connors, nice move. Connors, stopped by Morbillo. How about that one more time? I mean, look at the move here by Evan Connors. Morbillo giving him nothing to shoot at. Great positioning, great save made by the Friar Tendy. Face off to the right. Oh, the aforementioned St. Anthony netminder. Comes to Lazzarino. His shot deflects. Just missed the net on the deflection wide. Hit the glass behind. It's along the near wall. Fowler trying to get a stick on it, as well as Straub falling to the ice on his own accord there. That was the Friars' Borison. In comes Lazzarino. Lazzarino's shot flashed across the net mount and wide. Fowler down the wall. Over the stick of Hoffman. Played by Mazzarone. Eventually settles it. Centers. Fowler back to Brentwitz. Brentwitz down the wall. Steps up on it. Fired a weird hop off the dasher right to Straub. A shot, a save made by Brody Morbillo. And if he gets any more billow, I don't know how much billow he's going to be, because my goodness, he's been more than EI could ever have bargained for in this one, as he has made save after save. But, I mean, on the other side of the ice, Ford has had himself quite the game as well. Shot save, rebound, it's available, and another save, more billow. Point shot, hit Fowler, deflects to the other side from Mayer. Mayer absorbing a hit, dished out by Roush. Eventually he comes out of the zone, banked ahead. Fowler has to put on the brakes, tries to avoid turning it over to Zano behind him, then runs into a brick wall. That brick wall goes by the name of Francesco Menino. Here's Kalmar. He's into the zone, gets around Mathers. He's got the equalizing goal here late in the third period, about midway through. Other side of midway, whatever. Mazzarone throws it out in front. Morbillo had a little trouble with that one. It comes to Mathers, a save made. Rebound, sprawling. Morbillo makes another stop. Stop me if you heard that before. Tizano has it chipped away from him by Fowler. Fowler centers Walsh. Now Mazzarone for Mathers. Over the net. And then going hard into the wall was Walsh. They say it was legal. He lost his stick. He'll pick it back up, and the Friars clear. Incoming eye. Shot blocked by Kalmar. Dribbling puck held in by Mathers. EI going to go for a change. And it's inadvertently, or perhaps an unforced error there by the Friars. They iced the puck. And that stops the clock with not exactly a minute, but a minute and 7 seconds remaining in this hockey game. It's been electric here between these two top freshman teams, and now a timeout has been called. I'll do a quick recap of the game thus far, and then I myself, in my voice, if you could hear it, it's a little hoarse. My voice, that's a bit pony. I'm not talking about that club where the pink ones go, anyway. I know my dad, who listens to these, did not get that joke. Anyway. Getting the party started back in the first period, Rory Straub from Evan Connors and Joey Barbarito. A quick response, a minute and 30 seconds later, by Tizano from Roush and Kalmar. It was 1-1 at the end of one. The only goal of the second period belonged to Aiden Mathers, in which Evan Connors assisted on. Made it 2-1 EI, and that's where we stood all the way until 6:38 of the third period, where a wrist shot from the blue line from Aiden Kalmar, with Hoffman and Solis picking up assists, tied it at 2. And then a little bit of back and forth hockey, but for the most part, it's been EI getting great chance after great chance, and it's been Brody Morbillo standing on his head, keeping the game 2 apiece. Kalmar spinning. Kalmar check from behind by Walsh. Evades Walsh. Picks up speed over the red line, into the zone, over the blue. Takes a hit into the boards. Coughs the puck up. Now the other way, Connors. He's got speed. He's got moves. He'll show off both here. Takes the shot, save Morbillo. Still, EI get it back. Straub, wrister, blocked in the skates of Menino. That allows Tizano to come forward with it. Tizano with Nooner and Lazzarino back on defense for EI. Tizano, center, nobody home. Push to the line and out of the zone. And a whistle stops play. There are 20 seconds left in regulation. 3-0 East Islip. 2-0-1 St. A's. And another timeout. And this one I will. Oh, wait. That's because there's a penalty up on the board. Tizano off for roughing. St. A's fans voicing their opinions. Something to the tune of, it's not a good call. Maybe some other adjectives, but. It was very hard for me to see it along that near glass. Our camera woman, Rowan, is indicating a push into the boards type play. It's not boarding, but roughing. So just, and you'll see that at the lower levels, they're much stricter on the calls, especially the roughing calls, whereas, varsity, maybe that's not a call. And that would maybe a source of the parents' frustration there, but you have to understand we're not dealing with varsity athletes here. We're dealing with freshmen and below. Anyway, power play, EI to conclude regulation time. Unless they score a goal, there's another save by Brody Morbillo. Less than 10. Lazzarino knocks it down with the glove, plays it with his stick. We play on to the line and out of the zone. Great eye by the official, who now is being applauded by the same fans that were jeering him just mere seconds ago. I mean, he was right on the line and noticed that the puck did go out of the zone before the player could keep it in. And there you go. We've concluded regulation time, but we do not have a winner. 2-2 at the end of the third period. So there we go. The intermission graphic making another appearance. Overtime is on its way here on LI Sports Network. And I, Ryan Brownigan, will be there to call it in just a moment. 2-2 OT on its way. So a 4-on-3 here for EI to start overtime. Chance early and a save made Morbillo. St. A's trying to clear the zone. Kalmar trying to do it all himself. And he does eventually clear the zone. Walsh goes down. Two Friars collide into each other. And a stoppage nonetheless. Connors reactionary to something the referee said. We dropped the puck. Anyway, 2-on-1 developing. Lazzarino and Connors. Pass too far for Connors. But he'll pick it up in the corner. Again, 4-on-3 power play for EI. Kalmar checking Connors. Connors around the net. Lazzarino. Return pass Connors. Back to Lazzarino. Lazzarino, wrist shot from the point, just wide. Walsh set up in front, providing the screen. And potential deflection. Walsh for Lazzarino, circling. Connors walks, fire, save, Morbillo. Connors back for Lazzarino. Wrist shot, blockered away by Morbillo. 45 seconds to go on the power play for EI. 2:45 to go in the overtime period. Clark, shot save made by Morbillo. Face off to the left of Morbillo. Here is Kalmar perusing on in. Kalmar flips one across, and the Friars are content to just play keep away here as the final seconds of the power play look to tick off. And that they do. We're back to even strength. So it'll be 4-on-4 unless we get a whistle. Tizano trying to go across, knocked down out of midair by Mathers. Connors took off, hoping for a home run pass from Walsh, who instead reverses. Back to Cockler. Connors, good pass across for Walsh. Walsh, a drive save made with the glove this time of Morbillo. And it's Nooner ahead with it with Tizano. Nooner's shot catches the stick of Barbarito and deflects over the net. Put back out in front, and Straub recollects. Minute and 35 and counting left here in the overtime period. Fire down the ice. It'll be an icing against EI. So with a minute 29 left in overtime, the Friars get the offensive zone draw. D-zone face-off win for EI, but they cough it up, and Ford had to be alert there. Not sure if he had to make the save, but a big opportunity for the Friars as they have had the puck really in their own end for a majority of the back end of that third, and here into overtime. Straub shot flashed across the crease. Fowler going to work on Menino. Menino prevails. Nooner, Tizano. 2-on-2 over the blue. Tizano to the backhand, shoved by Barbarito. Separated him from the puck, so mission accomplished. Here's Walsh, one-on-one with Kalmar. Fowler looking to join him. Is a bit behind the play. Shot blocker save made Morbillo. Fowler swiped at it, not back for Mathers. Has it go by him. 38 seconds to play here in overtime. Again, if it ends without a goal scored here, it will be a tie. It'll be the second tie of the year for the Friars. Here's Connors. Connors, pass across, shot, save Morbillo! And sent all the way down. It won't have enough for icing. Here comes Ford! Ford sends it ahead. Back in it comes. Offside are the Friars. They must touch up. And exhausted Tizano gets on the other end of it. But time is going to expire, and these teams will have to settle for a tie. Wow. Brody Morbillo, take a bow. That's some of the best goaltending I've seen at this level in quite some time. What a game. Ford was good when he had to be as well. Definitely better in the first and second, where he wasn't, was tested more. EI really started putting it, and you see the coaching staff embracing and pounding Brody Morbillo. He was electric. This game had it all, except for a winner. 2-2 the tie. You like that? I liked it. 2-2 the tie, EI and St. A's. And with that, we'll conclude our coverage from Saturday night's games. Thank you so much for tuning into LI Sports Network's coverage of the Suffolk County High School Hockey League. From Rowan Laddick, producer, camera woman, I'm Ryan Brannigan. Till next time, have a good night.